What's up, YouTube? What's up, Potato Gang, Potato Squad, whatever we want to call each other, my family. So, hey, what are y'all doing? How y'all been? Sorry I've been gone for a while, so it's kind of cringy. I need to stop with these hand motions. It happens when I'm awkward. But, so I want to apologize first for not, because I did say I wanted to upload twice a week, but I hadn't uploaded a second time this week, and I apologize. I had planned, I believe that my release dates or my upload dates are going to be Tuesday and Thursday, but last week was just very hectic for me. I don't want to explain it. It's kind of like personal life stuff, but basically, yeah, I was just going through stuff, didn't have time to film. I wasn't really gonna film tonight. It's late at night right now, but I noticed that this weekend I was kind of in a mood, and I took a shower to try to get my mind off of it. It made it worse. Some people are like, oh, I'm just gonna take a shower, I'm not gonna think about it no more, and it's gonna go away. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then I tried, and my brain was just like, you gotta talk about it. So I guess that's what I'm doing. And it's kind of, I guess, hey, we could say this is my first rant on this channel, but I just want to talk to you guys about, like, feelings and emotions. Like, it is something that is not talked about. You know what, I'm gonna put background music because I don't want it to just be silent when I'm going through my thought process. But basically, I wanted to talk about feelings with you guys because I know that emotions are something that society does not help us deal with at all. It's basically like they're telling us you gotta deal with it on your own. It's something you gotta figure out. And when you do have problems with emotions, they kind of just brush it off and they're like, hey, figure this out by yourself or go get professional help. And I don't know about you, but I don't like talking to people I don't know. So most of us don't get the professional help that we may or may not need. But I do say this as a warning: if you are dealing with mental issues that you do not have someone to talk to, you can come to me. I am open ears to always hear your feelings and your emotions. I will never reject it. That's just how I am. I care to help. I am here to help. But sometimes I'm not enough. Sad truth. But if you do need help, go for it. Go to the people you trust. Just get what you need. Like, I don't ever want something bad to happen to someone because they couldn't deal with something, or they felt like no one was ever there for them, because I'm here for you, and I'm sure there's a room of people out there for you. You just gotta have faith in it and look for it. But part of the reasons I want to talk about feelings and emotions is because we grow up with them. You know, it's something that's always there. You always feel, you always have emotions. You just always go through the motion of what you're feeling, and we're told, hey, you're supposed to feel like this when this happens, or why aren't you happy because this is happening, you need to be grateful. And it's like, I know that I hate hearing I need to be grateful, because I am very grateful what I have, and I appreciate everything that I do, everything that anyone has ever done for me. But I also know there are times where I can't be happy about a situation because the way I'm feeling is telling me the exact opposite. The way that my mind is processing it isn't I'm excited about it, it's why is that happening. And I know that everybody's thought process is different, and we need to respect that. Like I noticed that we don't have respect for certain things. There's this one kid in my class who I used to argue with all the time because he pushed his religion onto me. And I give it up to God when it comes to hard situations. If you're not religious, that is perfectly fine with me. I'm not here to preach to you, but there are just certain beliefs that society thinks it can only be this way because I said so. If Kim Kardashian is doing this, everybody got to do that. I can't do that. If I don't feel comfortable doing this, looking like this, playing by the rules because somebody set them there, then why are we all different? If that's the way that life is supposed to be, then why are we all made differently? That's the way that I see it, because I know that the way that I am and the person that I'm becoming isn't ordinary. I'm ordinary in no way. The way that I think, the way that I feel, the way that I go through things is ordinary in no way, shape, or form. So for you to tell me that I have to be like this, well, then I might as well not be different. I might as well be born looking and talking and sounding and thinking like everybody else does. And nobody should ever do that. You should never have to say I have to be exactly like that person. And I know it's hard because some people have to live up to a specific standard. Some people have to impress certain people. And I totally get that. Like, if you if you have to do that in some situations, I get it, but just remember to be your own person. Excuse me. Remember to speak your mind and just try to be you. Like, express yourself in certain ways, because as a kid, I'm not gonna lie, I got bullied a lot. My appearance isn't the best. I don't care to say I'm beautiful. I don't care to say, oh my god, I'm the prettiest woman in the world, because sometimes I don't feel like that. A lot of the times I don't feel like that, because I know that I can do better with a lot of things in my appearance, and I am perfectly fine with that, because in order to accept who you are and to become the person you want to become, you got to accept who you are. I'm accepting it. Yes, I know how I look, I know how I feel, I know what I got to do to get better. I'm working on it. I didn't have this kind of confidence to say it out loud before, and I would have never said this in front of anybody. I would never want anybody to know how insecure I was, but it's not insecurity. Because if you were to tell me I'm ugly in person, I'd be like, okay, and what are you going to do about it? Because what are you going to do about it? What are your like when people comment hateful things, or when they want to diminish someone to a point where they feel like, where a person feels like they're worthless, what did you gain in that? Because you're not helping them. You're certainly not helping them. You're doing nothing to bring them up. And it's painful, like that bullying and diminishing someone, breaking someone's heart, and putting someone in a place where they feel like they can't get up, where they can't breathe, their chest hurts so bad because somebody hurt them. In no way, shape, or form should anybody have to go through that. But 1,000,001 of people go through that. I go through that. Anxiety, depression, it's never been so bad in teenagers. You want to know why? Because, I'm sorry, my generation, millennials, we're growing up where, no offense, we were spoiled. Because compared to how my mom lived, compared to what my ancestors had to go through, I have it easy. And I look back on situations, and even now, like when I'm feeling in a place, I'm not gonna lie, when I'm feeling in a place where I can't get up, I can't do anything, and I'm just like, I don't want to be here anymore, why am I alive? I sit there and I think, look at the people around you. I have a good support system. I got friends. I had to work for those friends. I believe that friendship is easy, but true friends, you have to work for, because I'm not someone who automatically trusts people. I'm not someone who can just go through the motions and be like, hey, if you play me, that's that. No. When I get hurt, it's something different. When I feel, it's something different. So it's like, I know that if I feel like this, other people feel like this. And it's just like, I look on their situations, I look at my ancestor situations, I look at people that I don't even know situations, and I'm thinking, they get through that. Every day people are going through 100 times worse than what I'm going through, and they get up and they do their job and they do what they need to do to get to what they want to be. My people I know could have easily given up, and they would have never become anything. I would not be here. Like it's just, there are things that people do and they don't think twice about it. They do it because they know it's their job and that they need to, and they get through it. So I know that I can get through it, and I want you to know that you can get through it. Because whatever I'm going through, yeah, it's hard, it sucks, and I wish I wasn't. I wish that I could just diminish it and it would never be there. I really do. But I have to get through it, because one thing that I used to love to do, because this year was such a hard year for me, I'm not gonna lie. I went through a lot this year, more than I had ever been through, more bad than I had ever been through in certain situations, and I just didn't think I was gonna get through it. I just kept getting hurt, and it was just, usually when you get hurt, it's like, hey, you think about it for a while, and you just got to get up and move on. But when it's hurt after hurt after hurt, and kind of like a row or a timeline, you kind of just think about it, and you're like, what do I do? So you sit there, and I'm not gonna lie, I crawled into that deep, dark hole, and I sat there, and I thought, I'm never gonna get out of here. And little by little, I feel myself standing up, ready to get out of it. You just have to dig your way out of it. I like to think about the future, because if I always live in the now, none of my future is important. And I noticed that because in high school, my grades dropped, because I was like, what am I working towards? I'm working towards my success. I know that the moment I'm doing this now, the feeling that I'm feeling now is not going to matter in 10, 20 years when I have a good job and I have a great family and I'm living in a big house. Or I don't even care to live in a big house, because to me, money does not make you happy. You make you happy. The people around you make you happy. What you're working towards makes you happy. You know, I want to be something when I grow up. I want to impress my family. I want my mom to say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that my daughter did this. I can't believe she's finally taking care of us. I don't want anybody in my family to have to worry about finance. I don't want them to have to worry about any issues that we have to worry about now, little issues that shouldn't even matter, you know? Like, I don't ever want them to worry about it, because that's going to be my job. My job is to be the one worried. Not to be the one worried, but to look back and think, we went from here and we bring it all the way up to here. And it's like, not enough people think like that. So many people, especially people getting bullied, especially people who just feel like they can't move on, they stay in this state, this little box that they confine themselves in, and they think, if I can't get through this, what makes you think I'm gonna get through issues then? But if you're always thinking about here, how do you know what's gonna happen here? Because back then, I was always thinking about issues here. And I'm a minute, when I was little, one of my things was fairies. I loved fairies and unicorns and dogs and wolves and crazy things like that. And I always thought, one of the things I used to tell myself is, I'm a wolf. My spirit animal was forever a wolf. And I was thinking I'm a lone wolf because I don't have a pack. And I'm never going to find a pack because I'm such an outcast, nobody wants me. And now I'm here, and I'm still this lone wolf. But now I associate. Now I have things to look forward to. And back then, I wouldn't have known if I had given up then. If I had told myself, you're always going to be like this, you're never going to see anything. No, I told myself, hey, this is like this now. But if I hope for a better future and I have faith in something, I'm going to become something. I'll get here. Now I'm here. And I'm struggling. I'm on it. I'm going to tell y'all I'm struggling. But you want to know something? I know that this struggle is just a proof that when it's happening here, I'm going to think back to this and I'm going to say this is nothing now. Because now I'm here. And the problems I have here, I got to get past to get here. Because you're making your way up. When you get to that top point and you feel like, hey, like, I made it. I did something. I have someone. I have myself. Because I think we rely on people a little bit too much. I get that a lot of girls and a lot of guys are like, oh, I'm waiting for my future girlfriend. I'm waiting for my future wife. And hey, you want to live like that, you live like that. But one thing that I've always done, I've been single for a long time. I've not had a boyfriend 16 years of my life. Never made anything really official, so I was kind of just single. But because I always, even when I was in that little fairy tale kid stage, I always said, Tinkerbell didn't need no mans. And now I'm like, hey, she had Peter Pan, but they weren't together, alright? He had Wendy, and then he didn't because she went back to London. Besides the point, I was, like I said, a lone wolf, and I said, hey, I don't need no mans. I'm gonna do things for myself. And then a guy's gonna come in and he's gonna be like, hey, she's doing something, I'm doing something, let's make this happen. But like I said, I want someone who's willing to work as hard as I'm working, because I think that girls a lot settle, and I think guys a lot settle. And I feel like, imagine how easy the world would be if we stopped focusing on relationships and we were just like, you know what, we don't need this, because we're gonna work to get somewhere else. We're gonna focus on ourselves first. We're gonna do this, and then when we get there and they're like, hey, what's up, you wanna, yeah, it's gonna be so. That's how I see it, because I really got no shame being single. I mean, I'm used to it by now. And it's kind of just like, talking to people is nice. Relationships are nice. And if you got one now, you go. Like, live your relationship. Live to the fullest. And I'm not bashing anybody who's single, because you made your relationship. And I just think, I always tell people, ask me for relationship advice. Communication is key. Like, you got to talk to your persons, because people say it's 50-50, but to me it's 100-100. If I'm always at 100 and you're always at 100, there's never going to be a 0.2% of nothing. Like, no, like, we're always going to be at 100. We're always going to be here. And I get, like, not everybody's perfect. Like, you're going to have your problems. For couples that are worried about fighting, you're going to have your problems. Every couple does. Everybody does. Everybody fights. Friends, family, brothers, sisters, everyone fights. It's your job to get through it. It's your job to say, hey, I was in the wrong. Or if you're in the right, say, hey, they need to own up to what they did. This is their job now. It's just, you got to get through the motions. of everything that's going on. And that's why I'm saying I think that our life is there's just a lot of key things that we just distrust in, or that we don't follow up on. And I think that is a problem in society today. It is a problem that's been on for a while, and I think that people are ignoring the past issues that are coming up again in the present. Nobody's looking back on history and fixing anything. They're just making it worse because they say, hey, this is a new problem. I look back 300 years, it was a problem back then too. None of it really got fixed. It was just phased and publicized that it did. But then it's coming up again, so did it really? No, it didn't, because nobody's moving forward. Nobody's communicating. Nobody's opening up their mind to things. And I ask, please open up your mind to things. Like, don't be dead set on something and just not take in others' opinions. I was like that. I would say, hey, my opinion's right, and that's that. And that's not the way to live, because you're never experiencing anything new and you're not learning anything. You're subsiding everything that matters. For what? Like, my grandma used to say this thing, right? She used to say, me duele mi corazón, when the news would come on. And I would tell her, why? Like, okay, me duele mi corazón is my heart hurts. And I'd always tell her, why is your heart hurt, Grandma? And she'd say, I'm gonna say it in English, but she'd say, because look at all the bad. And I'd tell her, well, look at all the good. And me as a kid, you know, I think about it now, and I'm like, what made me think that? And why did I lose that? Because now I'll look at things and I'll say, me duele mi corazón, me duele mi pecho. My heart hurts, my chest hurts. People hear me say it all the time. I'll say, ooh, my heart hurts, or ooh, my chest hurts. Because something that you're doing is physically hurting me. I'm serious. Like, you ever had anxiety? You feel that in your chest. You ever gone through a heartbreak? It feels like someone's ripping out a piece of you. And I know a lot of people feel it. And it's just like, we're not feeling that for no reason. There's something telling us that the way that we're feeling is important, and there's something we need to do about it. But if you're like me, I'd sleep it off, or scream it off, sing it off, however you get through something, and I'd forget about it. Now I'm thinking about it. This year I started a debate team. One of the best decisions I made this year, one of the highlights of my year, if I'm being completely honest, because I'm looking back on it and I didn't do everything that I wanted to do. And best believe I'm moving forward, and I'm gonna start doing what I need to do to get my life together. And y'all I can't stress it enough about how important you guys are. Like the Potato Gang, you guys are something that's becoming so important to me, and you are important to me, and I want each and every one of you to know that. Like, you are an important person, and I don't think you hear that enough. I don't think you hear that you are someone that needs to be loved. You are someone that needs to spread their emotions, their opinions. What you are feeling needs to be heard. And I think that we have such strong voices, and nobody's hearing them. And I think it's because we're in a whisper stage, and we need to get to a point where we are screaming. I want you to scream. Scream everything that you're thinking, just let it out. Like I said, this is the sky. We are changing things. We are going through changes. So Potato Gang, anything that you want me to ever speak about, anything that you have opinions about, go in the comments, tell me. Please go on any of my social medias, text me, DM me, whatever. Just let me know what y'all are thinking, what y'all go through. I'd love to hear. And if you need my help on something, you better believe I'm going to give my perspective. If it is asked for, I will give it. I will perceive it the way that it is unsaid. Because your opinions, your emotions, everything is very important. You are important. And I don't think y'all hear that enough. Can't stress that enough. Like, that's basically what this was about. Because I just feel like lately, everybody's kind of just drifting away. And it kind of hurts, you know? Like, so when I said me duele mi corazón, kind of really hurts, because the people that are really important to me we're all kind of drifting away. And I know it's because our personal life and because of things that we're going through. And I keep thinking, man, why don't you just text this person, April, or why don't you just tell them how you're feeling? And it's because I'm scared. And you know, friendships are something very important to me, and I don't think, you know, not enough people know how a certain someone is feeling, and it kind of just really hurts a lot of people. And it kind of just hurts me, you know? Like, if you're feeling some type of way and you're scared to tell me, don't ever be afraid to tell me. Just tell me. Like, yeah, I might react in a certain way, but something about I don't like leaving things on bad. I don't know why I was thinking about this, or maybe it's because, you know, one of my very close friends told me, like, you're worried about she said, you were worrying about someone who broke your heart, but yeah, you're not worried about the ones you're breaking. And I thought about it, and I was like, I'm not breaking anybody's heart, but do you know that? Because I'm pretty sure the person that hurt me doesn't know, or the people that hurt me don't know that they hurt me, because I never let anybody know when I'm hurt. And this is part of me kind of just accepting that things need to change, and that's a big piece of me, because if you know me, you know this isn't something that I do. I don't like to talk about my feelings, and I want y'all to accept me as something, but like as the advocate for the Potato Gang. I want you guys to trust me the same way that I want to trust y'all, and I want us to build such a strong family, you know. And it's kind of just